Ladies and gentlemen, fellow patriots and freedom-loving Americans, welcome back to another episode of The Source, Rulebreakers, Lawmakers, and Influencers. This is The Source, where rules get broken for the greater good, laws get made to serve the people, and influence drives us forward. Today's episode, we'll be speaking with Gigi Arakelian.
Hello.
Gigi is a life coach. She's thinking about doing a podcast here on the Roar Network. And she works with people who are going through various life changes at different phases of their life, whether it's transitioning from an old relationship or into a new relationship, or career changes, etc. Now, you were a former musician. We were just talking about that before the episode started.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for inviting me, William. And this is such a great pleasure to have this experience with your audiences. And yes, so I am a former musician, retired. Also, I minored and took many psychology classes too. So it's very important to connect with people on a deeper level, especially as a life coach. Every single person is very specific and delicate. So the approach is, I need to apply my best when I'm approaching a specific person or a specific relationship that they're going through, and on a more delicate manner. And as a musician, I think that's how I can relate to people and their emotions. And I always tell them, feel your feelings, but never become your emotions.
Well, that's interesting. So what kind of inner work or what journey led you to the now career path that you want to be a coach and you want to help others?
Oh, actually, I've been helping others ever since, my college years.
Okay.
So in relationships, with my friends, when they were going through or forming relationships, or even, if they had some struggles, they always came up to me because I'm, as a musician, I am inclined to listening to people. I have the ear to listen and also give my best suggestion. And it always worked for the positive. It was always very successful. So I've been, I would say that I've been in this career path maybe more than 15, 20 years. But not as a certified life coach at the moment. I am already. And I'm so thankful for this journey because it is it's such a blessing to see that there is so many incredible changes when you're talking to the person, or if you know both the man and the woman, and they're in a successful and beautiful, committed relationship. Because they did factor, the suggestions that I did, inform regarding the relationships, and it just brings me so much, blessing and happiness, and it's incredible. It's an incredible feeling to help other people.
So, in the people that you've helped in their relationships,
yes,
what do you think is the most impactful advice that you've given so far?
I would say mutual respect, I think, is one of the top factors in order to form a long-lasting relationship. Mutual respect and, of course, undeniable trust. You need to have that trust. And also, of course, chemistry. There needs to be chemistry in order to have that long-lasting relationship. And I would say the top would be also share the same moral values.
So what, when you look at it, a lot of what you just said starts with the self, right?
Definitely.
And they need to have that. They have to have those qualities within them first before they can be ready for a relationship.
Definitely, yes. If one wants to form an authentic and genuine relationship, one needs to go within and find the happiness within. So if you are, if you feel fulfilled within yourself, then of course you will you will just, give the same, joy. Because, if you don't have joy, if you don't have happiness, if you don't find your own, you're not centered, and you don't have the peace, then how would you be able to give it to the other person? So first and foremost, especially, if you do go through a breakup, it's very beneficial to maybe surrender and take a moment to find yourself again, center yourself again, and when you're ready, and of course, it's a healing process, especially if you go through a breakup or a divorce. So there needs to be that time of just being one with yourself, finding yourself first again, and be in harmony with yourself in order to go and make another person happy. Because happiness is a perfume, and if you don't pour a little bit on yourself, then how are you going to pour a little,
Well, you can't pour water from an empty cup.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, I don't look at it as making someone else happy, right? If you are happy in yourself,
of course,
then you are going to exude that energy and that happiness, and people who are ready to receive it will receive it, and the people who are not will not, right? And so it's, I think in our world that we have right now, we're focused on the outer, like, how do I make my partner happy? How do I make my boyfriend or girlfriend happy, right? Versus, do we really align with each other, right? You talked about core values, right? And you have to have shared values.
Yes.
So some core values that I live by, which are part of the self-discovery life mastery path, is the sacred seven: courage, honesty, integrity, commitment, duty, honor, and love.
Beautiful,
right? And if you
beautiful values.
Exhibit, and it all starts with the courage to be honest, right?
Definitely.
And if you're going to be honest, then you have to be honest with yourself first, right?
Yes.
So
yes, undeniable trust. So first, do you have the trust? When you are promising, do you keep your promises? And as I was, referring to this verse that I read this morning, I would like to share with your audiences too. So I came across when I was doing, because in the mornings, that's how I wake up. I start journaling a little bit, and I came across this beautiful verse. It says, "Let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." And it's found in 1 John 3:18. I think it's a beautiful verse, and and this is it's very compact, but it states so much. And nowadays, it's people just give empty promises when they're forming relationships. It's very superficial, and in order to form that genuine love, you need to you need to form a healthy relationship. So how do you form it? It's a supportive, mutually beneficial, built on trust, as we mentioned, respect and understanding. And so the best couple are a team of two people who are on each other's side and want only best for each other. The most successful couples enhance each other's lives and help each other to elevate. So is your partner, elevating you when you're in a relationship? And are you growing? Is there, do you evolve together? Do you grow together? Do you uplift each other? I think it's extremely important, instead of they because a lot of couple I see that when they are in this world they start competing instead of uplifting and elevating each other, and they don't get on each other's way too. So I think there needs to be, it's very important. And as a team, you need to form a team, be a power couple. And you feel that you are better together than you might be apart. So if you have that, mutual.
A lot of that starts with self-awareness.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
And with knowing yourself, right? You talk about how, the relationship has to elevate you, and you want, you want to, and I'm paraphrasing, you want the best for the other person.
Yes.
Right. But you also have to be very clear about that. Right. And in your past relationships, like if you're coming out of a previous relationship and think you're ready to enter a new one, it's like it's looking inside and saying, okay, what were the little times that maybe I felt jealous, maybe I felt insecure, right? Where I said I wanted the best for this person, but when they started making more money than me, that hurt my ego, right? And there was a part of me that didn't want that, right? Because maybe I wasn't comfortable.
Then they're breaking that. They're breaking that. The rule that you need to want the best for each other. Even if the person is elevating, then whoever is elevating, should also uplift the partner, that he or she is with, in order to have that that mutual benefits. It needs to be beneficial for both of them in order to form, and not only form, but have that long-lasting relationship.
Right.
And I have this in highest truth, love is a frequency. We need to know this, and feeling is the invitation, and choice is the embodiment, and both are the soul's return to unity. I think it sums up what real love is, true love, authentic love. And it's very rare nowadays, especially in the dating scene.
Do you think, in your experience with your clients, that people are looking for something in a relationship that they haven't given themselves yet? That they're looking to...
I think whoever is giving more, yes. Because some people, the reciprocity, if it's not the same, if someone pours more than the other person, it means that they never received that love that they were looking for. And they're just giving too much. To receive it. But sometimes, there might be avoidance, who do not understand, and they think that, he or she is giving way too much. She wants attention, or he wants attention, instead of analyzing and saying maybe the person did not receive that love, and they want to prove to you that they love you.
Right.
So they're outpouring their heart to you. So I think, yes, I did come across some relationships that they were saying, it was too much, wanted too much attention. But I would say, you should reconsider how, you approach the person. Maybe he or maybe she never, experienced the love, and she or he was pouring and giving you so much love, and wanted to receive the reciprocation, and that was never received.
It brings back, the interesting point about self-awareness, right?
Definitely.
You have to be, in order to be ready for a relationship, you have to be very self-aware of what your motives are in the relationship. So to your point, if you're the person who's giving, right? Are you giving because you want it to be reciprocated? Now, you may be doing this at a subconscious level and not realizing it.
Yes.
Right? That if I say I love you and I want you, I'm saying it because I want you to say you love me too, right? Then that's a manipulation, because I'm not saying I love you for the simple fact of I want to tell you I love you, you're amazing, blah, blah, and all those feelings that go with it.
Yes.
And whether you say you love me back doesn't matter. It doesn't change how I feel and how I want to express that.
Definitely,
right?
yes.
But there's a lot of people who say I love you because they want the other person to say it back to them, right? Or buy gifts for someone to show love and appreciation, right? Because they want the person to appreciate them, to say thank you for some sort of gesture, right? So when you look at what real love is giving, expressing love from a full cup.
Definitely.
Right? I'm not looking for you to feed back to me what I'm giving you, because your way of loving might be completely different than mine.
Yes, there's different love languages. So it would be beneficial to learn the love language of the person that you're with, because each person has a different love language. And you need to master, his or her love language in order to keep them fulfilled and have, so they can feel safety when they're with you. They can feel safe and not feel that they might be manipulated, because yes, someone who can have the superficial behavior by gifting you, and but is it real love, or it's just is it turning into a transaction?
Right.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting, on the dating apps, a lot of girls are like, I want a guy who's generous. Well, what does generous mean? Does generous mean I want a Chanel purse, right? Does generous mean that, when we get to the end of the date, I don't have to worry about him saying, oh, your half is, right? Or, what is generosity? Is generosity things and gifts, or is generosity also offering a massage, or, hey, don't worry about it, I'll pick up food on the way home, right? Because
definitely, small gestures are daily gestures too, of course. It's it shows how loving you are. If you are just yes, I'll pick up the food, or I'll fill the gas, for the car. Just smaller gestures, of course. Right. And I would say that.
So do you think that
we need to bring the culture of the 90s, the dating scene of the 90s back?
The 90s? How about the 50s?
Oh, even better.
Right? I mean, because when you look at, I think in today's world, especially in Palm Beach County, a lot of people look at generosity as a metric, but they're really not looking for generosity. What they're looking for is the traditional masculine provider protector.
Definitely.
Right?
And the feminine is the nurturer. And,
right.
She is just nurturing the home. I think, yes, because that's how God created the man and the woman. The man is the provider and the protector. And of course, the woman is also a nurturer and a protector too, because, she needs to protect the house and the surroundings and the environment too.
Well, she also needs to be the feminine to his masculine.
Definitely.
Right? Men do not want to go home and have to fight.
Definitely.
Right? With the feminine all day long. They've done it all day. Same masculine, feminine. When the woman's out in the working world, she's got her masculine on. She's got to fight. She's got to sign contracts. She's got to do negotiations, etc. Same thing with the masculine. Masculine's in his masculine all day too. But when he comes home and they both come home together, right? She needs to drop that masculine at the door.
Definitely,
right?
Of course.
And be the loving feminine.
Yes.
Right? And create the family and the nurturing, safe environment.
Definitely.
And I think when, going back to, because it's all tied in with the love languages, right? So giving gifts, receiving gifts, like what's your love language, right? But, and then people who say that they want somebody generous, right? When reality is that they want someone balanced, right?
Yes.
They want
we can yes. I always talk about pies of love too. So PI stands for physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. So if you are aligned, if you're aligned on all levels, then I don't see anything that will deter the path towards your happiness. So pies of love, remember. I think
by Gigi Arakelian, trademark pending, copyright 2026.
Yes, pies of love, and of course one needs to also master the love language. But I think it's very important to be aligned on all levels, physically, intellectually, spiritually. Emotionally, so that's emotional intellect is very important too. In order to have that, because excellent communication is, I think, the main focus, the main source of having a long-lasting, beautiful, happy relationship.
Yeah, well, and I think to go back to what I was just trying to articulate is in working with your clients, whether they're masculine or feminine. What are they really looking for, right? So they may say that they want somebody generous, but reality is they want somebody who's going to make them feel safe and cared for,
Yes.
Right? That's
Yes.
different
Yes.
than generous, because generous implies, I just want you to get me nice things, right? Versus, I want to feel like I'm with someone who takes his role as the man seriously, right? And provides for us, provides for me, provides for our family. Now, on the flip side, the feminine has to realize that I'm not looking to be the little princess, and I'm not looking to be the damsel rescued from the tower, right? I realize that, to your point, I have a responsibility as the feminine in the relationship to nurture, to support, to provide the home environment, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you're the, quintessential stay-at-home, barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen.
Definitely.
Right? You should be truly partners in your life, right? But, the feminine should also, if you're with a strong masculine, you should comfortably be able to acquiesce to that leadership, right?
Yes.
Without being intimidated by it.
Of course, most definitely.
Right.
Of course, yes. I truly agree with you. And, I think that, mutually, that's why, in the beginning of the episode, we talk about that we need to, both the masculine and feminine, need to uplift each other, elevate each other during the work, environment. Sometimes you need to find the median of, if the masculine needs, a specific time, for himself, or the feminine needs specific time, because you need to have your own time as well.
Exactly.
It's very important. Let it be just here, we're so blessed that we have the beach, so you can go walk on the beach, meditate on the beach. I think it's very beautiful, just to have your own time to reflect and rejuvenate. Yeah. So you can go back with a full cup again,
right?
And give all that nourishment and all the support, because the masculine needs that support too, and that positivity and. I am I would say, an absolute optimist towards life. And I just would like, we're here together to unlock the formula to this forever happiness that relationships and the humanity in general, needs to have form, because God created us to live in joy and enjoy, to see His creation, His beautiful creation that He designed for us. Yeah. And we need to have that joy, because that is one of His commands. Actually, it's written that be joyful and always have. I love the book of Philippians too. It's one of my favorites. So we need to live in joy. And how do you live in joy? If you live in harmony. So if you have a harmonious relationship, if you're in a harmonious circumstance, then of course you're going to apport that love and harmony and joy to the person that you're with, or you have kids, to your children, to your kids, and have that beautiful emotional balance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like your faith is very important to you.
Yes.
You were talking earlier about the Songs of Solomon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Some of your, favorite books. And
it's one of my favorite. And I always suggest, especially the men, when you're going out and you're dating a girl and you're forming, it's in the beginning stages of forming a connection or relationship. It will be very beneficial, especially Song of Solomon chapter 3. So if you would like to go and read, that would be my gift to you. In order to start the relationship on the right, alignment, be on alignment, to have that love, so you can pour it to her and be more loving and a little bit more open. I think it will help you. And after all, those are the words of one of the most wise kings that ever lived. So it will be very beneficial to go and read, his Song of Psalms. And it's written in a very poetic format. So I know for 100% that you will enjoy it.
Very cool. Very cool. How much do you think shared faith is important in a relationship?
I would think it's very important to have the same the same faith, same values. I mean, there is, of course, circumstances that it does work sometimes if you are from different faiths. If your love is, it rises above, the differences, then there is a possibility too. So you can never say, it will not work. I think there is a chance, if your love surpasses all the differences in religion, then it will still be formed. It will have a beautiful relationship.
Do you think that a lot of a lot of religion,
Yes.
spirituality, is based on shoulds from upbringing? For instance, I was raised Catholic, right? And then I became Buddhist, then I became Episcopal, then I became born again, right? And now I just consider myself more of a... my goal is self-awareness and communion with God, right? And that's not really defined by religion or religious.
I think it's just to have your
dogma.
personal relationship with God. I think is the utmost important,
Right.
To form that union with your Creator.
Right.
I would say yes, it might be dogmatic to go. I wouldn't say that it's not a great idea to be religious, but I would say be more spiritual and
spiritual is unfortunately, we were talking about we should go back to the 90s. I said we should go back to the 50s. Right? Spiritual is I'm afraid to tell you what I really believe. I just want you to know I believe in something. Hey, so we had a brief power outage, and I spilled coffee on my shirt, so I've got a new shirt on. And so we were wrapping up with, the idea of being spiritual versus being religious versus, being clear in your beliefs. And so, what I was saying in my thought was, I think a lot of people use spirituality as a way to really not make a decision on what their beliefs are. Right. Mm-hmm. And, we were talking earlier about core values. Right. And I think in order to be in integrity with yourself, you have to be honest about what you believe. And if you can't be honest about your relationship with God, then, that's something you want to reevaluate.
Well, we also need to consider the fact that, we are creative beings. Like in essence, God created this entire world by using his imagination, and he gave us the same tools and the same wisdom for us to be creative, because creativity is the natural order of life. And life is energy, and pure energy, right? So we need to be adaptable in any circumstances that we are and we're facing, and of course always rise above any circumstances. So that's what my program consists of. So if your viewers are interested, I would love to elaborate more on the topic, and I have several programs. And if they want to sign up, I have an email. That would be the fastest way.
Okay.
And
so do you have a website?
Website is in the progress right now, in the process of being developed. But
so the best way to reach you is send you an email.
Send me an email too. So it's Gigi Travels 24/7 @gmail.com.
So it's just 247.
Yes, 247.
Okay. All right, Gigi Travels 247
@gmail.com.
And what's going to be the website when it's ready?
The website, I think it's going to be
the URL. Do you know the URL?
At the moment, I'm working on it because I do have a few, and I want to, since we're working on our project podcast, I would like to have the same name for my URL.
So uniform branding.
Exactly, uniform branding. So the best way and the fastest would be just via email at the moment. Okay. So and we need to realize that creativity is God's gift to us. So what is our purpose? So what do we do with that gift, right? So using our creativity is our gift back to God.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Your responsibility.
Yes,
to give back to
definitely.
God. Yeah.
So if you have the talent, you need to utilize your talents.
Yeah,
And
I
if you're
agree with
creative, definitely you need to. If you're in the process of creating a beautiful change in this world and towards positivity and optimism is always highly valued, and being your authentic self, of course.
Nice.
Authenticity, I think, is the most valuable and form of interacting with everybody, because people do sense, when you are on your authentic self and that's your essence, then you do resonate with the audiences.
100%. So you had said that you have some programs, like different ways that people can work with you. What are they?
Yes, so I do have several programs. It depends, where you are in your life and what circumstances you're in. If you want to form a relationship, you're ready to go out on date, I do have a program, to have, your best outcome when you're out dating. Also, if you are going through major changes in life and life-altering circumstances, if you've gone through a breakup, divorce, or just you need some guidance on how to rise above any given challenges, then there's a different program for that as well. And I would love to work with everybody, because people are in different seasons in their lives. So I did create programs for everybody, and because I do want people to be the best version of themselves. We just stepped into 2026, a beautiful year, and if you are accepting your past, and if you want to detach and learn how to detach from your past, then you are going to enjoy the program, and you will see the results in a more expedite manner, since I lived the life that I am also guiding my customers and my clients, so they don't have to waste their time and effort, since I've done all the process and all the research on how to expedite that, learning process, and going through self-development. Because if you are willing to go through the change and go through this adventure called life in a more positive and optimistic manner, then I would strongly suggest for you guys to contact me, and I will give you, and we will elaborate more on which program will be best and will suit best for you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of The Source, Rulebreakers, Lawmakers, and Influencers. We'll see you next time.